This is an Oldsmobile.
So let's stop pretending this meant anything. I was just another backseat hookup.
Hey again, I've been gone a while. I got a dog, that's how long I've been gone. While I was gone, I got the chance to go to one of the small shows Hot Mulligan did in the Yuki Club in Philly. And I went dressed up as a milkman and brought little stickers of like milk cartons to hand out. I wanted to bring like a full gallon of milk to share in the pit, but I don't think security would have allowed that. Back in my video on I Played Tony Hawk's Ride Once and It Sucked, I made a stupid joke about how at the time I had made 3 videos and Hot Mulligan had only released 2 songs since I started making videos, and I claimed I was gaining on their asses. Since then, I have gotten a lot lazier with my upload schedule, and including this video, I will have done 10 songs, but since I started, Hot Mulligan has released an EP, a single, and a 16-song album. So I pulled out my spreadsheet here, and I did a little math. Starting from August 11th, 2024, when I posted my 11-second bird video, to time of recording today, December 6th, 2025, there have been 482 days. I have made 10 videos, and Hot Mulligan has released 19 new songs, which puts Hot Mulligan at a rate of 14 new songs per year, and me at a rate of 7 videos per year. Given that Hot Mulligan at the moment has 77 songs in their discography, and that I, at time of recording, am 25, and to the best of my knowledge, the oldest Hot Mulligan member I think is 31 or something, and that the average male American lifespan is 78.39 years, we can extrapolate out some math. In the year of our Lord 2073, when the oldest Hot Mulligan member dies, they will have made about 767 songs. And when I die in the year 2079, I will have only covered about 418 of those, which means there will be about 348 songs left unanalyzed. Now I know that number sounds bleak, but if we look at Hot Mulligan's whole discography, 77 songs starting back in May of 2015, that gives them a rate of only about 5 songs per year. If we put that line in the graph, you can see I actually catch up with them right around the year 2054 when I'm in my mid-50s. So if you just stick around, I'll get there. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about opportunities. In my opinion, opportunities is more or less when the era of really popular Hot Mulligan started. If you poke around in the Reddit or just talk to fans, there will be fans that you see whose favorite songs are from Split or Honest and Cunning or Fenton. But I think the majority of people really stick to or remember the songs from Opportunities and beyond. Opportunities was an EP released on December 16th, 2016 under No Sleep Records. Spotify for some reason has it marked as an album, which I can get. It's kind of long for an EP. I think it's 6 songs and an acoustic. And Opportunities is kind of such a big deal in their discography that it feels like it should be an album, but according to every other source I see and Hot Mulligan's own numbering themselves, it's an EP, not an LP. Like I mentioned in my last video, Opportunities is the start of a change in Hot Mulligan, and I think you'll see that pretty quick. The sounds they play with and the kind of pointedness and vulnerability of the lyrics change.
So let's stop pretending this meant anything. I was just another backseat hookup. I was just a selfish way of coping. You were always touching me and laughing. You said, boy, you know that I love you. It's just not the way you wanted me to.
So Oldsmobile is, in my opinion, the only song off of Opportunities that kind of fits the stereotypical like Midwest emo, whiny about a relationship kind of song. Tades and Chris come in together over this subdued guitar and sound kind of accusatory towards this girl. I see it as the singer talking to someone that he's been with before and was pretty clearly burned by. The song is kind of like that climactic fuck you moment for the singer from the get-go when he says, you know, let's stop pretending. In these first couple lyrics, there's a mix of kind of putting himself down and pointing out the girl's shitty behavior, kind of like both externalizing and internalizing the guilt and blame. He calls himself nothing but another backseat hookup, which kind of feels like it could be coming from his perspective or the girl's. Like, if the emphasis is on another, it's kind of highlighting that she does this all the time and that it's her who has a problem. Or he could be kind of parroting how he thinks she sees him. To her, he is nothing but just a hookup, and it's not necessarily her problem, it's an actual reflection of his worth. He calls the way that she treats him and others selfish. And even like the good times they talk about of her touching him and laughing feels like weirdly maniacal. Like he's just, you know, an object for her amusement in the moment. And she knows this. She straight up says that she loves him, but not in the way that he wants her to. She loves him as a toy. She loves the fun he provides and the attention he gives her, but nothing about him. And for somebody with such horrible self-worth issues like we've already seen, that's a pretty dangerous kind of person to be around. All that being said, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up that, as always, this song is from the singer's point of view. And we've seen that the singer might not always be a reliable narrator in other songs. So I'm sure, the girl has done bad things or been horrible to people, but you never know what is hyperbole and emotional release and what is reality. So I've never really been able to make up my mind on what exactly this part is supposed to be telling us. I've seen people say maybe this girl's like an aspiring actress or a model or something, or maybe it's all just like fully metaphorical, like she sees herself or she holds herself in such high esteem that she sees herself as that important, that pretty, that influential. I try to avoid claiming lyrics are fully metaphorical because I think even if they are, the metaphor the singer chooses is very important and kind of changes the tint of the whole theme. But I still want to bring it up because this whole part feels like it has like the undertone of the singer's delusions in it. Like he's ranting, talking about how terrible and selfish she is, but at the same time it feels like desperate and out of touch, which makes sense because someone like this girl who has an ego as big as a black hole would naturally kind of suck in people like the singer who are far less confident just by passing by. Regardless of if it's metaphorical or not, the singer is talking about her like she's this sort of like holy, like godly presence. He says she's so beautiful he assumed it wasn't her. He tells her that she can do anything she wants because he feels like she's so far above him. He says she has courage for doing what she does despite her relationships with her best friends and her mom falling apart because of her actions. It reads to me like an obsessed singer refusing to see her and her actions for what they are, and instead looking at it like she's set apart, she's this angel. It's like mistaking arrogance for confidence and vanity for beauty.
Someday soon they're going to end. Twisting upside in your backward head before this little plan. But you can't depend on anyone. You can't depend on anyone. It's not my fault. You won't love me if I'm not useful anymore.
I think the chorus is sort of the singer's break out of his self-harming delusion. Before he was worshiping this girl, talking about how she'll only ever walk on red carpets. But now he admits that someday soon they're gonna end. Like he's finally taken a step back, or been forced to take a step back and seen that this person who's larger than life is just narcissistic and toxic. He paints her as like conniving almost, forming twisted little plans, and he tells her that now she can't depend on anyone. Not her friends, not her mom, and now not even him. And I think in a moment of like kind of rare clarity and valuing oneself, the singer admits that it is true that she doesn't love him the way that he wants. She just loves him for fun that he provides. But more importantly than that, he realizes that her not loving him that way isn't his fault, which is a huge departure from like everything that we've seen in their music before this. In the vast majority of the conflicts in the songs we've gone over, at least in my interpretations, the singer's always had it come back to being his fault, not anyone else's. I'm like inclined to almost call it maturing or getting healthier in your worldview, but at the end of the day, the song is just an emotional event. But still, even if all of this is hyperbole and metaphor, the singer being able to not put the blame on himself feels like an improvement to me.
Stay away,
So now some amount of time or whatever has passed since his relationship with this girl, and he's reminded of her when he sees her at the bus stop and sees her with her new boyfriend. And you can hear there's still like that lingering resentment still there. He sees this guy that he doesn't know and just immediately assumes that he's some kind of tool to her, you know, another plaything to mess around with, which may or may not be unfair. Who knows how long it's been, if the girl's grown, what she's gone through. But you can't really blame someone for relying on past experiences to inform how they see things. And then the verse ends with what I think is sort of another mature, if not still kind of sad take by the singer. He says, "Stay away, you ruined me, you beautiful but fucking awful thing." He's not crawling back, nor does he even want to have the feelings he had before, but he's learned to be cautious. And he admits that he still finds her beautiful, or maybe just that he finds the idea of being with her and getting attention beautiful. But he calls her awful. He calls that one-sided affection a terrible thing. The feeling of being wanted by another person is tempting and it's endearing, but the feeling of being left out in the cold is crushing. And so I think it's good that he's not seeing her and immediately falling back into groveling, but at the same time it's clear that he has scars, right? He's cautious, he immediately jumps to the worst conclusions about everyone. Stay away, you're awful. Almost like everything that he sees from now on that might be beautiful has that fucking awful core hiding underneath.
Use me as you do. Use me as you do. You use me as you do. You use me as you do.
And the song closes out with this refrain, "You used me as you do." And it's sort of like a final fuck you to this girl. Like he's admitting that she used him, but the "as you do" to me reads like he's saying, this is expected. This is who you are. You use people. It's baked into your DNA. And I feel like it's hard enough knowing that you hurt someone, but if I hurt someone and then their retort was to tell me that they expected it because that's who I am to them, that would hurt a lot more. And that's the goal here. Maybe I'm being too generous, but I think this song is half healing and acceptance and moving on, and half a petty and targeted takedown of a selfish person in your life. And ending it by saying that selfishness is just how she operates fulfills both of those roles. It lets the singer take the blame off himself and realize that it's not always his fault and that that's something for him to learn from and heal. But it also sends one final swipe at her, kind of implying that her greed and the damage she leaves everywhere she goes is something inherent to her and something she'll never be able to fix. Opportunities is an incredible EP. I won't lie, the songs that I'm really excited about we won't get to until like the second half of it, but there's still some really great stuff for us to go over before we get there. And the songs do start to kind of branch out in their subject matter. There's of course still relationship stuff, but they talk about a lot more, and we'll see. Hopefully I can do them justice. Alright, that's all. Goodbye.
My dick don't hang past my nuts, so sometimes I pee on them.